Title: I caught my girlfriend cheating during the ski trip where I was going to propose. I left with the ring and all her stuff. This happened just a few days ago, and I still feel like I'm floating outside my own life, watching it all unfold in slow motion. I-28M was with my girlfriend 27F for just under 4 years. She wasn't just someone I loved, she was my person, or so I thought. We'd been talking about marriage casually for months, joking about baby names, dreaming about our future house. So 3 months ago, I decided it was time. I picked out a ring, I planned the perfect proposal, I booked a ski trip to Colorado, romantic cabin, fireplaces, soft blankets, snowy pines outside the window, the kind of place that shows up in holiday commercials. The plan was to propose at this gorgeous mountaintop restaurant after dinner. Dessert, champagne, the ring under the stars. I had it all figured out. The first 2 days of the trip felt like a dream. We skied, drank hot toddies by the fire, cuddled under throw blankets. But there were cracks, small ones at first. She was distant, glued to her phone, sneaking off to check the Wi-Fi or call her mom. I chalked it up to nerves. Maybe she suspected the proposal and was freaking out in her own way. Saturday was supposed to be the night. Everything was set. But a few hours before dinner, she said she wasn't feeling well. Headache, nausea, said she just wanted to rest. She told me to go out on my own, grab a drink, let her sleep it off. Except, I didn't leave. Something in her tone, in the way she avoided eye contact, it didn't sit right. I waited. In my coat, boots still on, standing behind the heavy front door of the cabin. 15 minutes passed, then I heard the latch click behind me. I cracked the door just enough to peek out. She walked right by, hair curled, full makeup, tight black coat, laughing softly into her phone, not sick, not even close. And she wasn't alone. Waiting for her was this guy, maybe early 40s, graying hair, one of those artsy scarf-wearing, I listen to vinyl and quote Murakami types. They didn't shake hands or hug awkwardly. They kissed. Not some clumsy first date kiss, but the kind that carries history, intimacy, muscle memory. I followed them at a distance as they walked down a snow-covered trail toward a scenic overlook. They sat, talked, held hands, kissed again. I didn't interrupt. I didn't make a scene. I took a photo. Then I walked back, stomach in knots, and spent the night staring at the ceiling in silence. The next morning, I asked her straight up, "Who was the guy you met last night?" Her face turned to stone. Then came the truth. He was her high school English teacher. They reconnected at a reunion about 6 months ago. They'd been talking ever since. "It just happened," she said. "I didn't mean to hurt you. I just didn't know how to tell you." I didn't yell. Didn't cry. I nodded. I let her believe she'd gotten away with it, that I was just another guy too spineless to do anything about it. Then I packed my bags, and I packed hers. Every item. Clothes, toiletries, phone charger. Yes, I was that petty. Makeup bag, even the half-finished bottle of shampoo. I loaded it all into the car and drove down the mountain in silence, the ring still in my jacket pocket, untouched. But I didn't drive home. I stopped in a small town an hour away and booked a cheap motel. The next morning, I went back to the resort, spoke to the manager, explained that an unregistered guest had been staying in our cabin, violating resort policy. I showed them the photo, time-stamped, clear as day. They took it seriously, more seriously than I expected. Apparently, it constituted trespassing. Resort security found him and escorted him off the property while she was still sleeping off whatever lies she'd been telling herself. Then I froze the joint credit card, because guess who was the primary account holder? All those lift tickets, spa treatments, fancy dinners, on my card. I reported it lost and had a new one reissued. Oh, and the return flights, I had booked and paid for both. I canceled hers. Before I blocked her, I left one final voicemail. "You planned this for months. I figured it out in 15 minutes. Your parents are on their way. Good luck explaining everything." I sent her mom a message with the photo, the texts, all the receipts, said she'd need to pick her daughter up from the resort. She replied, "We got her. I'm so sorry." That was it. I sold the ring the next day. Took a hit on the price, but I didn't care. With the money, I booked myself a solo trip to Iceland. I leave next month. Northern lights, ice caves, hot springs, the works. Something just for me. As for her stuff, boxed it up and dropped it on her parents' front porch. No note. No text, just silence. I haven't responded to her calls, haven't read her messages. I don't need to. Right now, it's all surreal. I'm not even angry. just empty, quiet, like the world pressed mute. But beneath the numbness, there's a cold kind of pride. I didn't scream, I didn't beg, I just handled it. Calm, surgical. She thought she was clever, she thought she could play both sides. She thought I wouldn't find out. She was wrong.